So we have to go south. But that's Class B with Newark. You can't get in, right? Okay. I thought I saw almost like an armored vehicle moving here. Okay, hold on. I don't see. What I thought I saw, so that's okay. Unless they're going around that building there. Do what you got to do for yourself. Don't worry about me. You got to move or we got to go back. I probably saw this vehicle here. Okay. So it's going to be a flight of giving one thing up for the other. So by being here, now I can't see the crowds over by Lafayette, but we see this going on here on Duane. Okay, SKYFOX 389. Okay, so now I'm looking down Duane off of Lafayette, and there's a lot of activity out there. People with masks, people with helmets, people in uniform, everything that I think you were looking for. Okay, but now this building's blocking me. This is not going to be easy. Nine, go ahead. Yep, there we go. Okay, copy that. Okay, Chopper 2, CBS desk. Hey, Robbie. So what am I over here? What's going on? Hi, Tim. How you doing? Hey. Tim, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I can tell you what I see, but I don't know what's related. No, I don't know what's going on. Give me 30 seconds with Robbie. Hey. Yeah, Robbie, what you got? Ethnicity again? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so according to police sources, Robbie, ICE enforcement operation was happening on Canal Street, did not involve the NYPD. They seem to be targeting street vendors who were of African and Asian, mainly selling counterfeit items. Okay. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you. Okay, Tim and Robbie, what was that very last thing you said? Okay. A crowd of people followed them down to the Federal Plaza. Okay. Tim, the video you have for me, is it the operation happening over on Canal? Is that what the video is? Thank you. Standing by. Standing by. Well, from what we're understanding, Jessica, earlier this afternoon, there was, according to police sources now, there was an ICE enforcement operation over on Canal Street where they were looking at street vendors who were of African and Asian descent. Now, no NYPD was involved in this. It was an ICE enforcement operation. They were looking at vendors who were selling counterfeit products. Now, what you're looking at down here, this is going to be in the area of Federal Plaza. We're just off of Lafayette and Duane there. You can see a crowd of people did follow those agents when they brought the people they took into custody down here to Federal Plaza. You can see over here, you can see the people standing on the street corner there. We've seen numerous officers and law enforcement agencies down here on Duane. But again, all this stems from an ICE enforcement operation that was happening on Canal Street. And of course, as we get more information, we'll bring it to you. Reporting live in Chopper 2, Dan Rice, CBS News, New York. Robbie, was that all good? No, thank you. Really appreciate that. And Tim, did that work for you in the control room? I forgot to call for the video. I hope you ran it. Chopper, CBS desk. Chopper, CBS. Ah. There we go. Hey, Robbie, you guys need anything else from me, or should I jump back over to Fox? Thank you, buddy. Okay, copy that. Thanks again, Robbie. Excuse me. Okay, SKYFOX 389, back on your side. Okay, Christopher, we may do something with this again at 5:30. If we do, and if it makes sense with how they set me up, something like this will work. I want to be able to show the crowds here. I want to be able to show the people here on the street. But what I might do is I might have the camera over here on Canal Street first, showing Canal and Church. So if we do something, I might have to have you just kick the skid for a second. And then I'll try to start there and then bring the camera down so you're not holding it that way. Okay? Okay, for folks who are following along on social media, a little chaotic afternoon up here. Good afternoon, Dan Rice here. Christopher Marcel is your pilot this afternoon. We are over Lower Manhattan down by Federal Plaza, 26 Federal Plaza there. And we can see activity still happening around here. Now, earlier this afternoon, there was an ICE enforcement operation, according to police sources, talking to our CBS News New York newsroom. That there was an ICE enforcement operation over on Canal Street, looking at basically street vendors who were primarily Asian or African American. And they were people who were deemed to be selling counterfeit products. They were taken into custody by the ICE agents and brought down here to Federal Plaza. A group did follow that activity down to here. .389, go ahead. Copy that. Hi, Tim, back with you. Okay, do I talk this time or do I not talk this time? Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, yeah, I get it. All good. Yes, correct. Very rarely. Okay, 90 seconds to us, then big bye. And Robbie, I got the email. Thank you. Okay. I hear that. Okay. Street vendors. Yeah, no, I know. I know. Okay, standing by, standing by, standing by. And Christine, what you're looking at now is down by the area of Lafayette and Duane. Now, you're looking at that video from earlier today. What happened was, from what we're being told by sources into our CBS News New York newsroom, that federal agents from ICE and other agencies were conducting raids along Canal Street in the Chinatown area, cracking down on street vendors who may have been selling illegal products along those streets there, along along Canal by Church. Most of those people were taken down here to Federal Plaza. Now, that group you see over here on Lafayette, that was a group that followed the agents down towards the Federal Plaza area. You still see a group of them outside here on the corner. NYPD in their gear there, just trying to make sure everything stays orderly there. We were told earlier NYPD was not involved in that. That was more on the federal level. As we said before, the ICE agents and other agencies involved. But again, all this taking place earlier this afternoon over on Canal Street. Reporting live in Chopper 2, Dan Rice, CBS News, New York. Okay, chopper desk, did that work okay? Well, that's what I'm going to do because I haven't heard otherwise. I haven't heard either. So yeah, let me know. It looks like it thinned down from when we got here. Hold on a second. Let me use the other lens. Yeah, I thought that corner was a little more crowded when I arrived. You're welcome. And thank you, by the way. Everybody helped. I appreciate everybody's help. Trust me. And we come back to our folks who are following along on the live stream on social media. As you could hear in the report there, that's the information we have as of right now. And thank you very much, Peter. You're very kind. Real quick shout out to Beverly, Alice, I saw Susan there, Norita, and anybody else may be missing. Thank you very much for your kind words. Always appreciated. And as you can see, activity pretty calm down here. Still just a small group of people on the corner of Lafayette and Duane, right outside of Federal Plaza. So you do see the NYPD just standing guard. From our vantage point, everything seems rather peaceful at the moment down there. And again, we go down Duane, you see more NYPD just at the ready over here. We had seen the federal agents before when we arrived, about 25 minutes ago, it looks like at this point. We had seen the other agents that were down involved in the operation earlier over on Canal. Look at the other end over here by Broadway. You see another small group of police officers in case a crowd gathers on that side of the complex. Again, at this point, looks like a lot of our activity has kind of mellowed out in that area. And the raid happening, according to the police sources, talking to our folks at the in the CBS News newsroom, took place along Canal Street in the Chinatown area. Sorry, it's got a couple of things going on up here while I talk to everybody. Keeping an eye on what's around us up here in the air. Sun's starting to set, kind of blinding me a bit here as I try to look at the screens. Peter, yep, there's Alice Katowski Gilmore is what I saw earlier. Oh, Barbie, I missed you. Hi, Barbie. We see the NYPD truck that has the barriers in the back coming up here on scene, although, like I said, at the moment, the crowd not very large just yet. Don't know if it will grow or not, but you can see people there gathered on the corner. I guess I should explain to everybody why we have kind of the weird angle on everything over here. Normally we like to be a little bit closer, a little on top of things, but one, as you can imagine, we're not alone up here, so we try to get the best angle that we can. But two, there's a little airspace problem around the New York area today. There is the airspace over at Newark Airport that at the moment they are not open to what we'll call general aviation in their Class B. Very technical terms, meaning basically aircraft like ours are not being handled by the tower controllers. Controllers over the tower at Newark could be for various reasons. They may be understaffed, could be a little too busy, but that's been happening a little more frequently. So we have to stay kind of outside of their space. We can't encroach too much on it. And right now where we are sitting is at that line between LaGuardia Airport and Newark Airport. So LaGuardia is being very kind and letting us get as close to the airspace as we can, but technically where we're trying to look, that's handled by Newark, and right now they're not handling traffic like us. So again, we focus on that crowd that is gathered outside of Federal Plaza over on the Lafayette side. And if you look in the middle of your video there, there's a person up against the barrier there trying to engage with law enforcement on the other side of the barrier. Probably a little bit of yelling and shouting, but right now, law enforcement not making their way to that person, so we'll keep an eye on that area down there. And we'll look over here by Twain. Excuse me again. More law enforcement in between Lafayette and Broadway, but again, we saw other agents, what appeared to be federal agents that were in the area there, have at least left the street side of the scene down here. Probably until we say we have to get fuel. And again, the people that have shown up here are pretty much gathered at the corner of Lafayette and Duane. Of course, you can look down there and see Foley Square. Towards the center of your video, to give you an idea where we are, we're down in the what's labeled as Civic Center area. See the different buildings there that make up Civic Center, but this is the Federal Plaza area that we're looking at now. That's the Javits Federal building, the high rise there. Did Quebec Delta leave? Oh, okay. Oh, it was right on the... Yeah, my window was blocking the slider. Positioned perfectly. You sound too much like me. Cut it out. Yeah, it's working. It's working. Feels like yes, but I'm not sure. Okay, folks. Trying to see if I can get our live stream back up here. Our internet goes in and out from time to time when we're in this area. Actually, I'll be honest. I'm surprised we're getting as much internet as we're getting. Usually over here, it doesn't come in as well. So I see Susan here asking questions. I'm sure other people may be jumping on, trying to figure out what we're looking at down here. This is right off of Foley Square. That's Duane Street in front of me here. And you have Lafayette crossing left to right. And you see the small crowd that is gathered that's left here. And you see the police over here. So what happened was a short time ago, earlier this afternoon, over here on Canal, which is that street right there. According to police sources talking to the CBS News New York newsroom, there was, excuse me 1 second, sorry, so federal agents from ICE and other agencies, they were conducting raids in this area, in the Chinatown area, along Canal Street, and they were targeting, or they were looking at vendors who were selling products that may have been counterfeit or what have you. Many of them in the Chinatown area. They picked them up and they took them down over here to Federal Plaza. And a group of people did follow down here. That's what you see gathered over here. When we arrived on the scene, we had seen a lot of those federal agents walking about here on Duane. Now, from what we understand, NYPD was not involved in the enforcement. It was on a federal level, and that's why they were brought down over here towards to Federal Plaza. Much of the activity with the federal agents seems to have wrapped up in the area there, but of course you still have this one group that's standing on Lafayette and Duane. So you do see some of the NYPD officers still just standing guard around the barriers as people stand there and at least try to get their voices heard or see what's going on down here. You see some of the media mixing in now with that group. Again, not a large group and not disruptive. Traffic still flowing through the area. People still being able to use the subways. But that is what we are looking at the moment. Our ground crews, we do have ground video that shows a tense scene when this is all going down and some pushing and shoving happening along those streets down there. So, of course, we'll have more coming up at 6 o'clock. We have crews down there as well, so I'll give you the full story. But that's what we're keeping an eye down here to see how this crowd, how long they stand here, if it gets bigger, it gets smaller. Peter, thank you for joining us. Hopefully you have a good rest of your evening there. By the way, we thank Susan Robbins-Turner, who had asked the question before. Thank you for joining us from Colorado. Again, this group not big in numbers down there, but they've been there for close to an hour now, it looks like. In the afternoon, he will, yeah. Do what you got to do. Yeah, like I said, don't worry. Ah, actually, for you, that would be very comfortable, wouldn't it? Make you feel right at home. Okay, so we're getting a small group now building up on the Broadway side. Saw a little police tape going up over here. Hadn't seen that crowd before. Again, that's Dwayne at Broadway. Chopper CBS desk. Hey, Robbie. It's very, very small, but there's a little group now building on the Broadway side of Dwayne. They start putting up police tape. Yep. Are we doing anything at 6? Okay. Perfect. Okay. We will be doing video at 6 here, Christopher. So we can just square up a little bit here and show the crowd a little bit on this end of the block. I appreciate it. Hey, Tim, got you loud and clear. Okie dokie. Joe King over in Ireland, by the way. Always love seeing you. Okay, standing by. Here we go. Okay, we're going to start on the other side, Dwayne. Okay, Chopper's CBS desk. Hey, Robbie. I guess I should jump back over to Fox now. Okay. Thank you, sir. Chopper on the Fox side. Yep, just let you know I'm back. Yes, sir. Just letting you know I'm back on this side with you guys. You got it. Okay, where are we on fuel, my friend? Until we have to go or be on the ground. Okay. Thank you. And by the way, folks, that's Church and Canal right there. Canal being the up and down street. Church goes left to right. That's the post office over there, top left side of your video. This is the general area in which the operations had happened with the federal agents. Okay, look at the Chinatown area there to the right. And then we come back down here, and this is where the people taken into custody were brought to. Fix our camera here for a second, folks. There's nothing wrong with the feed. I'm just fixing one of the video elements of our camera. Makes me have to close down that lens. And it appears a few more people. I've shown up here outside of Duane and Lafayette. And again, we begin to see a bit of a crowd, a small crowd, gather on the north side. Nope, that's not the north side, the west side of the complex over here. So you have the west end of Duane over at Broadway. We come down Duane over here toward the east intersection over here at Lafayette. The crowd has grown a little bit. You can see some signs showing up here now. We didn't see people with signs before. Anti-ice signs. SKYFOX 389. Just checking in. We have probably 15 minutes maybe left of fuel before we have to go. Looking to see what you would like. Okay, I thought that'd be the answer. Just wanted to let you know. Thank you, sir. Hi to R. Thomas Fay. And hi to R. Thomas Fay. And you can see, folks, the crowd has grown just a little bit there. You can see the hand clapping in the video. We see the signs that are now up with several protesters. Not happy with the actions from earlier today. We come over here towards Foley Square a little bit. Not a lot of people hanging out in Foley Square, but you can see that everybody who is there kind of focusing over here on Lafayette and Duane. Starting to lose daylight, as you can tell in the video there. Again, folks, just going to reset my camera really quick. Kind of something to do a lot when we have the light changing like this. I don't like that. Randy still here? Ah. Where are you at with your fuel there, sir? Okay. Hey, give me 1 second there, folks who are still watching on the live stream. Just, again, trying to get a few things organized up here. And I apologize if I mispronounced the name here, but hi to Kuxo, I believe. Liz? Or it might be probably CU. We'll go with Liz. Should probably read before I just say. And Susan, it is. I thought he liked flying. Yes, to a degree. What were we going to say? Yes, exactly. Yeah, right? Okay, so for Liz and Cheryl and those who are asking, um, you are looking down at Foley Square. Over here is Federal Plaza, down here in Lower Manhattan. And earlier this afternoon, federal agents, ICE and other government agencies, were over on Canal Street, which I can swing the camera around here and show you. This is Canal over here. And they conducted raids on street vendors here in the Chinatown area. They took some folks into custody. Those folks are suspected of selling counterfeit and maybe not legit items on the street there. And they were brought down here to 26 Federal Plaza. We had seen those government federal agents there walking up and down Duane by the building here. And, of course, a group of people followed them down to this location. NYPD putting out a statement saying that the NYPD was not involved in the enforcement that was happening on Canal. This is on the federal level. So we do. So they are here just to make sure people stay on the other side of those barriers. You kind of see in your video there. Getting a little dark. I understand that. And this is the group that's still here. It's grown a tiny bit. You see some signs in the crowd now. We had seen some hand clapping going on. So. Okay, Christopher. Are you pretty much there? Okay. If we have to get fuel, we have to get fuel. Go ahead. And by the way, folks, we thank Katie Hewlett back at the CBS Broadcast Center. Let me know we were with you folks today. People are asking about the city skyline, the lights at night. There's your quick shot of the city skyline. Still a little glow there from the sun as it sets. See the Empire State Building. The J.P. Morgan Chase Tower just officially opened today. That's that building right there. Puts on its own little light show at some point. One Vanderbilt, of course. Okay, Christopher. Okay, folks. Get one more shot here of Foley Square and Federal Plaza as we begin to make our ride back to New Jersey. It's that time for us to go get some fuel. Get one more shot of the crowd at Duane and Lafayette. Okay, Chopper 2389. Okay, folks, as we begin to leave Lower Manhattan, we'll give you that nice little sunset shot in the background there with the lights coming to life on the big buildings here. We'll look at the harbor here as we make our way back. You can see Lady Liberty looking over the harbor. Kind of a neat angle on that. Hey, Nyan. Nice to see you. Haven't talked in a while. Peter, thank you for hanging in there as long as you did. Hopefully you had a good dinner. Hope you have a great night. And there's the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. I just went swinging by it. We'll keep the camera pointed on the Verrazano Narrows, and of course, we're going to be taking a long way home for us. As we had mentioned earlier in the flight, the airspace we would fly around, primarily Newark's airspace, is off limits to us tonight. So we have to go around their airspace, which means crossing over the Verrazano and going around a portion of Staten Island before we can cross it. See a nice looking night there in the Verrazano Narrows. Traffic not all that bad. Brooklyn bound, the tail lights. Staten Island bound are the headlights. You by the tower, and of course, in a couple of weeks, be thousands and thousands of people pounding the pavement there as they begin the 26-plus mile journey over to Manhattan through the city's 5 boroughs. New York City Marathon will be happening. Everybody gathers on the Staten Island side at Fort Wadsworth.